Hi, this is Michael William Denny of ThunderShamanism.com, and today I want to talk to you about the difference between Western astrology and Vedic astrology. So, as a shaman, one of my most powerful tools for not only optimizing my life, but also helping other people is Vedic astrology. Now, Vedic astrology is a very, very in-depth, complicated science. And so, to be good at it, you need to have a focus. That's my belief. You should have a focus because, general understandings of anything kind of get you general results. And I'm interested in practical results. If you don't know anything about me, I'm a very practical person. If I can't make it practically work in my life and give me a practical, visceral experience, I'm not interested in it. So that's why I work with Vedic astrology. Western astrology for me, is too general. Now, there are some things I've learned about why Western astrology doesn't work for me. Having said that, I do have to say, I know that there are some Western astrologers who have really, really delved deeply into that science. And although I personally haven't experienced it, I'm open to the idea that some of them actually may be very good at it. But generally speaking, all the Western astrology stuff that I looked at is way too general, and it's off most of the time. And here's one reason. The Western astrological chart goes off of what's called the tropical zodiac. The zodiac is the signs as it goes through the heavens, and it's a very in-depth thing. Anyway, and the Vedic uses what's called the sidereal zodiac. Now, 2,000 years ago, the sidereal and the tropical were, boom, aligned. That was 2,000 years ago. Now they are not aligned anymore. So many Vedic astrologers will say that Western astrologers are, making predictions based on the sky 2,000 years ago. So they're going to be way off. But there's some other things too. So for instance, now here's where I want to explain to you why Vedic astrology is so much more accurate. Western astrology goes off of the sun sign. And so, for instance, according to Western astrology, I'm a Virgo because I was born September 17th, 1963. So that makes my sun is in, the Virgo sign. But the sun sign lasts for 30 days. So that means, other people who are born in that same 30-day period are also Virgos. Now, does that mean we're the same? Absolutely not. The Vedic astrological chart goes off of the ascendant. So just to give you an idea of the difference in accuracy, you've got a sun sign which lasts for 30 days. And then you have the moon sign. So let's say you wanted to get more specific, the moon, which is connected to the mind, you say, okay, let's look at the moon sign. Well, the moon sign changes every 2.5 days. Well, that's a heck of a lot better, but it's still 2.5 days, that's a pretty big chunk of time. You get down to the ascendant. The ascendant changes every 2 hours. And now we're getting even more specific. But even then, 2 hours. A lot can happen in 2 hours. A lot of changes can happen. So even if somebody's born, let's say, in the same sign, for instance, in my Vedic astrological chart, I'm a Leo. My ascendant is in Leo. Now, Leo lasts for 2 hours. Now you can chop that up into 4 sections because in each sign there are 4 what are called nakshatras. Nakshatras are star constellations. So there are 4 different star constellations. Now Vedic astrology used to be about these star constellations. So now we're changing it. What is that? Every 2 hours. We're changing it every 30 minutes. We're changing different nakshatras within the sign of Leo. Now, to get even more precise, each one of those star constellations, of which there are 4, each one of those star constellations is chopped up into 4 sections called padas. So there are 4 sections. So now we've got it down to a very short amount of time. I mean, now you're within minutes. And so now you're going to see a lot of differences. Now, if you really get scientific, you can get it down to the exact minute and the exact second. And, again, there are Vedic astrologers who can do that. So this gives you a much clearer picture of me. When people meet me, I don't have the typical Virgo personality. That is part of me because my sun is in Virgo, so I do have a lot of that there. But I'm a Leo. I'm out there. I'm all over the place. I'm not the shrinking violet nerd in a book. I'm a Leo, and so my ascendant is much more accurate. Now there's something else which I found is incredibly powerful, and this revolutionized my personal business and helped me to be much more successful in my career. And that's what's called the projection. In Sanskrit, it's the aruta, which means the reflection. And so here's how that works. So I'm a Leo, my ascendant is a Leo, and my moon is in the first house, which means that my mind and my emotions are directly connected to my body. So I need to experience my emotions with my body. That's why, I'm a surfer. That's why I'm into martial arts. That's why I'm into Qigong. That's why I was an actor. That's why I was a musician. Because my body and my emotions need to work together. So I experience myself as being this very sensitive, moody, emotional, vulnerable person, because that's what the moon does. There are other things about my moon that make me feel that way, which is, again, another issue. But people don't experience me that way. People experience me as my reflection. Now, you can calculate, everybody's different, you can calculate where your reflection is. In my chart, my reflection is in the third house. Now, the third house is Mars in Libra. Mars is the warrior. Libra is a Venus sign. So here you have this contrast of warrior and peacemaker. Libra is the scales of justice, the balance. So now we get a clear picture because my aruta, my reflection, is the warrior of balance, the shamanic warrior. Because as we know, shamanism is all about creating a dynamic balance. So it's very important for me to reflect that. So that means every time I do a video, you see all this? The spiritual stuff here. I wear a sleeveless shirt, I go to the gym, I work out, I got a bald head. I do all that to promote the warrior aspect of me, the bodily, the physical warrior. I need to do that. And that is what is people are going to interact with me much better that way. Whereas in the past, when I would try and present myself as this, this shy, introverted, emotional person, it bugged people. They didn't like that. And my feelings would get hurt and all of that. And so what you need to understand is that your aruda, your reflection, is how the universe wants to use you. And you need to honor that. So there are times, when I'm teaching or whenever I'm interacting on a teacher level or out in public, where I don't feel like being the warrior. But you know what? I honor that reflection. And I just show up however I'm feeling, and people respond to the reflection. Because here's the thing. People are going to see your reflection. They're not going to see you. They're going to see your reflection. Now, when you know what your reflection is, then there are ways that you can bolster that reflection so that when you do that, people automatically feel better around you. People want to give you jobs. People want to work with you. They want to hire you. They want to pay you. They want you to be that. The universe wants to support you in that. But if you don't know what your reflection is, then you could be sabotaging yourself. So this is another one of the great things about Vedic astrology. I could go into mantra. Mantra is very important, and Vedic astrology has mastered the science of mantra. And I'll tell you a secret. Very many Vedic astrologers do not know how to truly prescribe mantras, even though they should. And so I'll talk about that in the next video. But this is some of the things that I offer. So just to let you know, I'm looking for, first off, just if you're interested and you want me to look at your chart, you want me to find your aruda, or you want me to, whatever it is that we can do, we can take a look at your astrological chart and click on the link below, and I'll look at your chart, and we can talk on the phone beforehand, and I can find out exactly what you're looking for, and we can help you with that. The second thing, I am still promoting Celestial Qigong, to give you the power. Mantra and Qigong together, when they're aligned right. If you do Qigong and you have the right mantra, your mantra will be expanded thousands of times. This is another thing that you can only get with somebody like me. So I get that, celestial qigong. If I'm also looking for 5 apprentices. These are people whom I'm going to teach all of my knowledge to. Now, it's going to be very rare. There's going to be those few people who have the diligence, the patience, the strength, the maturity, the commitment to learn all of the things that I have to teach. But I'm going to take 5. When I have 5 who I know are committed, I'm going to stop taking apprentices. And then of that 5, I'm going to pick 2. 2 who I'm going to share all of my knowledge to. So get on that if you're interested. I invite you to go ahead and click and subscribe, and we can work together for as long as we both think it's a good idea. So next video I'm going to talk about more aspects of Vedic astrology and mantra.